I tested the PETKIT PUROBOT litter box for cats like a veterinarian would. So we're going to talk about cleanliness, safety, health tracking options, and we're going to talk about if this litter box is good for you as a pet parent or if you need something else like a traditional litter box. So let's get started. Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Gabby. I'm a veterinarian and I make YouTube videos about pet health content. And today we're going to talk about this automatic litter box by PETKIT. It's an honest review and it actually came pretty handy because I needed to change my current automatic litter box because it's been failing a little bit the last couple months. So yeah, this is a total honest review. We're going to talk about the pros and cons. I'll show you some of the features and we're going to make the unboxing process together while we discuss if whether this litter box is good for you as a pet parent and also if it's good for your cats. For me as a veterinarian, I think that the most important things to consider for a litter box is number one, the cleanliness, because it's related to health as well. And what I really like about the automatic litter boxes that are in the market right now is their health tracking features, like cameras, for example, or those litter boxes that has the pH tracking of the urine, so you can tell if your cat is having a urinary infection or urinary obstruction, which is a huge thing on male cats, and it can be a life-threatening situation too. So that's what I kind of like really like the most about automatic litter boxes if we're talking about pet related subjects. But of course, it's also about the owners because it's much easier to have an automatic litter box than having to scoop a traditional litter box every single day. So yeah, that's my opinion as a veterinarian and pet parent. I've had both traditional and automatic ones, and I can tell you for sure it's much easier, especially if you have a busier life, that you can't be changing the litter box and scooping your litter box every single day. So let's get started with the unboxing process and we'll discuss some of the features, pros and cons, and everything to set up this litter box. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're new here. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Like I said, in this video, we talk about pet health and everything that has to do with making your life as a pet parent easier while you take care of your pets the right way. Okay, so I'm going to show the whole setup process. It was actually pretty easy and straightforward. They include instructions for everything, and if you don't know how to do something or you're not sure about it, they also have tutorials on their YouTube channel. But basically, they include everything in the box. You don't have to purchase the trash bags separately like some other automatic litter boxes. They come with the plastic trash bags included. After setting up everything, my male cat, Toru, was the first one showing interest, which I thought it was going to be like that because he's the most curious about everything. And then Bonnie also showed up, but what I actually thought it was going to happen was that Toru was going to use the litter box first, and then Bonnie was going to take a while to switch from the old litter box to this one, but the results were a little bit different. I'm going to show the whole process. First of all, the feeling of the whole box and assembly and materials, it's a lot more, I would say, like premium or like better quality than the last one I had. I don't know, I feel like everything was a lot more sturdy and better quality. And also this one had a lot of less steps to assemble the whole thing. So it's a lot easier for owners that are trying an automatic litter box for the first time. Another plus that I really liked is that the size is a lot smaller, but the actual chamber for the cats to go in, it's the same size. I feel like my old litter box was like a whole spaceship and was occupying a lot of space in my closet. But this one is like very compact, and the inner space, it's still very comfortable for them. It's not smaller. After I was done assembling the whole thing, it was time to set up the app. All the instructions are in the app. They have a very easy to follow step by step. And this is my favorite part because I was actually super surprised about the features that the app has. So we're gonna talk about that. Okay, so definitely my favorite feature for this little box is the smart camera that it has. My old little box was not that pro. And besides being fun just to like watch your cats go into the bathroom, it's also very important if you consider the health aspect of it, because you can now know how many times your cats go to the bathroom. And this camera is actually smart, so it detects which cat went to the bathroom by their face features and also their weight. So you not only have a health tracker that will tell you how long they spent in the bathroom, who went to the bathroom, how many times, how their stools were, if it was diarrhea or hard stool, or if they were struggling while trying to go to the bathroom. Now you also have a weight scale, so you can actually see their weight changes. Maybe they're losing weight and you don't notice until it's too late and it's time to go to the veterinarian. So this is definitely my favorite thing. I think the camera is very, very pro, and it gives you a lot of health information besides being fun. And like I said before, this is a huge thing for male cats specifically because they are more prone to urinary obstructions. So any minimal change, like the amount of time they spend inside, the color of the urine, or if they're using the litter box less than usual, all of those subtle changes are going to tell you if it's time to go to the veterinarian, and you can actually prevent an emergency, and it's an emergency that can be life-threatening. Now, while I was watching the camera, I noticed that the safety features are also pretty amazing, because I noticed that every time the litter box is gonna do a cycle, for example, and my cats are roaming around or like close to the litter box, or they kind of like sneak peek to see what's going on, the box stops immediately and it doesn't continue unless it realizes that the cat is not inside the box or trying to go inside the box. And that happened every single time my cats were close to the box. So there's no risk of your cat getting trapped or your cat just spinning around in the litter box, which is something very important, especially if they're in the adaptation process, because if that happens, they're never going to use it again, for sure. And like the video shows, the litter box also has a incomplete gear design that ensures that even in the extreme cases where all 12 sensors fail, the litter box still maintains the opening. So this ensures that the cat is free to enter and exit the litter box without any risk of getting hurt. And something I didn't talk about before, it's the odor control, which is something very important because sometimes owners places their automatic litter box in their living room, for example, if they live in an apartment and they don't have much space. And I have to say, in comparison to my last litter box, this one with odor control, it's beyond expectations. My last litter box didn't have any odor control. When you're assembling the litter box, you're gonna notice that it has 2 odor eliminators and they actually smell really good. You have to put it where the waste bin is, and you can set up in the app how many times you want the litter box to run a odor elimination cycle. I think by default it does an odor elimination cycle every time your cat goes out of the box when it does the emptying cycle. But in my case, I turned it off because one of my cats, and it's actually my male cat, it's very sensitive to smells, and I didn't want him to associate a strong smell to the litter box and then he wouldn't use it anymore, especially because we were in the whole adaptation process. But you can also set it up to have an odor elimination cycle every week, for example, like every Sunday. And I think that's more than enough, actually. It's just a matter of preference. But the point is, the odor control for this litter box is pretty amazing. So yeah, that's my review for the PureBot litter box by PETKIT. When I was planning the script for this video, I included like a pros and cons section and everything, but actually after almost a month of using it, I don't have many cons to mention. I think the only thing would be is that when I opened the app, I noticed that they have a subscription plan that I didn't know about, and I was like, okay, so they give you all these features, but then you have to pay for them. But then I started noticing that everything or almost everything is included in the free plan. And the paid subscription plans include things like keeping the videos of your cats going to the bathroom and like being able to download them, and keeping like a full video storage in the app and everything. And I was like, oh, okay, this is not that bad, because if I don't want to keep those videos, I just keep the free plan. So yeah, I guess that would be my only thing to mention, just to expect a subscription plan. But it's up to the owners and whether if you want to keep those videos or not. So I'm actually pretty happy with this little box. And I think it's a perfect start for owners that haven't used an automatic litter box, because everything is super easy to set up and everything is very automated. So yeah, in my opinion, it's a 10 out of 10. And I wouldn't say that about other little boxes in the market. So thank you so much for watching this video. If you decided that you want to buy this little box by watching my video, you can go down to the description of the video and you'll find a link to purchase this little box. That does give me a commission that supports my channel. So thank you so much for doing that, because that allows me to keep posting videos about pet health content and helping other pet parents out there. Thank you for watching.